Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie, and in this video I'm going to be making fabric bowl cozies with the Gypsy Quilter template and their pre-cut batting pieces. So this is the template. It's a really thin acrylic, so you can't rotary cut around it. You just trace it, but it really doesn't take long at all. And they also have, which I'm not sure you can see, but there's the little dart markings just in case you want to cut out your own batting pieces. It's all here for you in the template. It's called a jelly roll bowl cozy because if you can see these lines, those are the lines, and it takes 5 2.5-inch strips if you want to make it as a jelly roll strip. So it's pretty versatile. You don't have to do strips. You can do it with just one full piece of fabric. I did a combination, so one side was the strips and the other side was a full piece of fabric. So this is the template, and these are the pre-cut batting pieces. I wasn't sure if I should, spend the extra money on these, but I'm so glad I did. These make the process so much faster and much more fun than if you have to spend all your time cutting out all of these batting pieces and cutting out the dart pieces. So they're very thin, and you don't have to worry because it's all 100% cotton, which is what you need for these fabric bowl cozies. So anything with polyester or synthetic, don't use synthetic thread because it'll melt and possibly catch fire in the microwave. And each package that they sell, 8 are in here, but you need 2 pieces to make a single bowl cozy. So that is the batting, the template, and then I'll show you, these are the bowl cozies. So I made 2 sets already, and this one, there's the jelly roll strips on the outside, and really you can put them any way you want, and you can show this part. So this is a nice flannel on the one side, full piece, and then the 5 strip pieces sewn together. And then those darts that you saw in the batting, those are what gives this bowl the shape. And I also like this scallopy edge to the bowl design. Okay, and this is the other one. So this first one was a Christmassy fabric, and from that same jelly roll pack I pulled these fabrics, and they're more of just like a winter theme, not necessarily Christmas, because I realized that after Christmas in a month, people aren't going to want to use these anymore. So now this is just a winter theme, and this could be used all the way through spring. So, and you can use these, see how it cups like that, for a pot holder to take out your bowls from the microwave, but you can also put your bowl inside and heat it as long as it doesn't exceed 6 minutes in heating time. So these are very useful, and they're very quick and fast to make, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so here we are at the work table. It requires 5 2.5-inch strips. So these are the 5 I have, and I'm going to start stitching them together. Now these are pre-cut, and they're not a full 2.5-inch. So the first time I made this, I had to rip out all the seams because I was 1/8 of an inch short of the 10.5-inch square size, and I realized that these strips were like 1/16 of an inch short, which would equal up to your 1/8 inch or whatever. So if you're using pre-cuts like this, you have to really go with a really scant 1/4 inch, like a scant plus, and then you'll easily have enough to go around. So I'm going to stitch these strips together, and then the full length of these is the width of the fabric, and I'll be able to get 4 pieces. So these are going to be used on one side, and I have scraps of this cotton flannel fabric, and I'm just going to keep this whole. So one side is going to be a single piece of fabric, and the other side is going to be the pieced strips. You can do it however you want, but this is how I'm doing it. And then the other thing to note is that to be usable in the microwave, everything has to be 100% cotton. The fabrics, the batting, and the thread that you use to sew this. So all 100% cotton, because you don't want it to melt in the microwave. All right, I'm going to go to the machine and stitch these strips together. I'll stitch these in pairs, and then I'll stitch the pairs together, and then I'll have my 10.5 inches width of fabric. So I've pressed all the seams open, and now I'm attaching 2 strips to the 3 strip piece, and then we'll have 5 strips sewn together. So there are our strips right here. Yay, 10.5 exactly. Woohoo! Alright, I'm just going to press this last seam open, and then we can cut out the template. Start tracing this. This is a white marking pen. It doesn't always work that well. I don't know why. Oh, I can see it. It's weird. Sometimes you think it's not marking at all, but it is. Okay, that worked. You can cut these out with a rotary cutter or scissors. So rotary cutter, the little small size works really well around the curves. And I just follow the line that I just drew around the template. Right here is where this little rotary cutter does nicely on the curves. Okay. Here I'm just gonna zip right in between the two so I can turn this around and cut the curves from this side, since I'm right-handed. here is one cut, and I'll do 3 more. The other thing I love about this project and pattern is that there is very little waste of fabric. I mean, I'll show you the pile of waste from these 5 strips. You use just about every inch up, which is cool. I like that. Alright, so that's the 4th one. This is it. This is the only waste from those 5 strips. So pretty good. Alright, next, the back. So this one I can stack up if I wanted to, or I could try to fussy cut. Okay. Alright, I'll just keep tracing these, cut them out, and be back to start sewing them. Alright, so I'm pressing in the diagonals, and these are just the 2 quilting lines. It's the simplest. You can quilt it as much as you want. I just like to do the X design like they suggest because it's quick, efficient, and does look good too. And then you can see the crease lines. Sometimes I still will mark it if I can't see it at the sewing machine, but so if you get the pre-cut batting that goes with this template by Gypsy Quilter, you can see it saves you a lot of time because all of the darts are pre-cut, and there are 8 in each package, which will make 4 bowls, bowl cozies. So you use 2 per bowl. And it's a really thin 100% cotton batting. So at first I wasn't sure, but you know what? Now that I made a set of these, it is so worth it to get the pre-cut batting. It just takes away a lot extra cutting and time and headache. So here we go. Every piece will have a piece of batting stitched to the wrong side. So, wrong side, batting. So first, I'm going to do the X quilting stitch. Now we have to stitch the darts, and that's what gives the bowls the shape. So start with this one. Alright, let's turn this. So you fold right here down the center of this dart where the point is at. Make sure the edges are even. So now that's folded, and I'm going to stitch 1/4 inch from the edge of the batting in on all of them, and that's it. stitch off of the edge for your point. And then just to show you, that is the dart stitched in, and that is one side of the bowl. Once I get all of these stitched, then I just cut along the edge of the batting. It's so cool. You already have a guide here, and you just use the edge of the batting dart cutouts as your stitching and your cutting guide. It's really quite pleasant to stitch these without having to do a lot of marking and everything. So there we have one side of the bowl. And then I'm just going to clip the fabric part out like that. Look how cute that is. It's like a flower. I love the curves. Alright, here's my stack of all the darts sewn for the 4 bowls. So now just have to sew them right sides together, leave an opening, and turn them right side out and close the opening, and it will be all done. So before that though, I forgot, I'm going to press these darts smooth and then I'll come back. Alright, so I'm pressing these darts smooth, and I have one of these sewing hams that works really well with this, and it's in its little stand. I love this little stand. You can get them at Joann's, and I got this one on like a clearance price. So one of those few times where you kind of right place, right time, get lucky on a sale piece. I love it though. So we could just, along the curve of this ham, it's pretty easy to press these. And if you don't have a ham, then you can just press them from this side, maybe either to one, whoa, I can't see. Okay, either to one side or opened. It's such a small seam though, I think to one side probably might be best. So, like that. And you can see it gets pretty smooth. So, either way, this one is just, I have it, the ham, so it's good to be able to use it. This is directional, so I don't know, I just make sure that I put it the way that I want this to go. Really, I guess it really doesn't matter with this piece because it's goes around. This piece is not directional is what I mean, so it doesn't matter. If this piece were directional too, then I would have to make sure that they lined up. Okay, and then when you line these darts up, I push one direction and one the other so that the seams will lock and stitch nicely and then they will line up on the outside of the bowl, and then I clip it. Now I gotta mark where I'm leaving the opening, and I like to leave it more on the straight side, a straight side of the curve. I did try it from just the curve part, but that's much harder to turn in on the curve to stitch close. It's much easier if it's a little more straight. So this is where it will be the opening. Alright, I'll get all these ready to stitch and then we'll start stitching. Okay, I've got them clipped together. I have my opening marked and I'm going to start right at one of these marks for the opening. 1/4 inch seam stitched all the way around. Alright, then you just turn it right sides out and give it a good press. And these clips are where I have turned under the seam allowance to be whip stitched closed. And that's it. It's done. Really cute. So now you can put a bowl in here. You can microwave it, or you can use it as a hot pad to grab a hot bowl out and then hold the bowl. So a really cute gift. Yep, and that's all there is to it. So if you decide to make these bowl cozies, let me know in the comments below. And I appreciate you watching. If you like the video, please press the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also, you can check out my podcast on whatever platform you listen to podcasts. It's called Make and Decorate with Stephanie Socha Design. And it's all about sewing, quilting, decorating, and anything crafty. So we talk about it all. Check it out. Alright, so until next time, happy sewing and quilting and crafting, everyone.